Hi everyone, welcome back. Quick shed update out in the man cave. So, Jeep, new exhaust and painted, and it is a lot closer up than the old one, doesn't hang down. Now, I didn't do a film of this. Two reasons. I was on my own and you need three hands, arms to hold all this put together, and I don't have proper mounts on mine. That's actually a mini exhaust grommet in there. So anyway, cut long story short, I mounted up the silencer first and then put the pipe on. You'll see some heated grips here. These came off the Himi, and what we've got now is we've got the Oxford grips on. We also have the USB charger. So what I've done is I've not made a film fitting these because everybody knows how all this stuff works, okay? And these of course work once it's running. And they're toasty warm. So got a couple of pics. I just took some pics of the phone when I was putting this stuff on. So both these and these and them are both mounted down sides of the tank. I had to then work out how to make sure I can get the tank on and off because it's quite narrow there for the front. But they're all in, they're all done. So they're great, they're both fused as well. And I can't leave the grips on with these. More importantly, these grips that were on the Himi do have a fuse. That's one of those micro fuses, so I can't quite see there, but it does look like that fuse is blown, so I need to get a wee thing to pound that out. Now I could put these onto the Classic, but do I want to risk flattening my battery? You know what I mean? That's the other thing. So another thing I bought when I ordered stuff for Hitchcocks was this for £12. And all that it does is that goes onto there's an auxiliary light socket there, or an extra socket inside the headlight, which allows you to put on spotlights of the lights. Now I do have more than one of these. I've got a couple of these. Now I know they're modern looking. However, for winter, oh, more jerry cans arrived as well. A 42 and a 44, I think it is. 43 and a 44, or 45 it is. Anyway, they came from Pal Trav, and I've also got, look at this, I don't have one Shelly Jack, I have two. So this one for Farmer Chris, there you go, Shelly, and this one from Trav, Shelly. I think that is the Jeep one. So what I'm going to do is take, we're jumping about here between Himis and Jeep. If you take one of these, somehow that's been, I think I've stuck paint for that. How about we grind that down, till it fits in there. And then I've got one of these in the Jeep cut down to like there anyway, so I'll probably get that one out, square off the bit that's cut, and that just gives you, it's a genius, look how they work. See it's starting to go up. This one needs some oil on it. Brilliant though. Anyway, that's starting to sort out the future. I'll sort that out later on. It's a job for another day. I'll probably oil that actually. Soak it with WD first of all, then put some oil into it. And that'll go into the tools. So yeah, so the Jeep's all running. Winter's come in. I don't like driving it, as I've said before, with the canvas up. But what I might do is pull the frames up, and then that way it allows me, if I have to or want to put the cover on, I can, you know. So anyway, back to this. So God, the trains are all back on now after Storm Amy, which never really came to anything here. I've bought the Hitchcocks slightly longer, shorter, sorry, side stand. There it is there. Can't remember what it is it 8 or 11 mil shorter? Reason I could have, right, let's explain. I could have got that cut and shortened, right? Now the time I get someone to weld it, I can get that done for free as a favour. But I still need to get painted or powder coated. The time you pay for a single part like that to get powder coated, that'll be 10-15 quid. 20 quid probably actually now. Anyway, that's 38 quid, right? But the thing is, once you hack up the original stand, you've hacked it up. Why have I bought that? Because you should know, these stand up far too tall, straight up and down. Anyway, the only reason I'm going to make a quick film change in this is because I'll watch the whole of the films and I'll put up his name on the video and subtitles. Only one film showed to do that, to get to the side stand. The rest of them made it look really hard. Lefty Lucy. Is it a 13 mil? It isn't. So yeah, that's actually hand tight. But he showed the quickest and easiest way to take the side stand off. The rest are taking all this off and that, and take the switch off and stuff. I'm not sure why. But this, in theory, helps stop the bike toppling over. There's a bit of weight on that. Bit of weight, bit of tension, should I say. So that just comes off like that. I knew that would come off. Now, trying to find that could be the fun bit. That's it. You go onto the switch like so, and then that's just a case of start again, add it on there, and then that's it. Line that up basically. There you go. But the other videos made that look so complicated. I do have a flange nut to put on the back in here. Not quite sure enough yet for that. But what a job I had getting that, putting that pipe, exhaust pipe on the Jeep myself. I could have made a video on it, but I just couldn't really be bothered, to tell you the truth. Now, why is that? That's tight. There we go, right? As easy as that. Try and get a couple of long days out on the Himi this October. Even though, well, now that autumn's in, it's quite a good excuse to go out, go and get some autumn colour, maybe around Pitlochry or something. Anyway, there's the standard side stand. Find another, get another box for all my regular parts to go on. Okay, just a quick hashed up video of this. Anyway, try to kid folk into the good weather by still wearing shorts and Crocs, but it's actually not that cold. It's to be 14-15 degrees next week, which is still quite warm for going into October. But anyway, that is the Himi, all the changes done. I was going to do. One thing that's missing is I've ordered a magnetic LOMO tank bag, and I'll go on once that arrives. But that's it. So what did I buy all together? Bought Pannier racks, Pannier bags, different mirrors. I have got a tall screen I can put on, but I won't film when that's on as much. I bought the small bags. These are brilliant, they're gas tank bags. I bought that shorter size stand, which we'll just try. There you go, folks. I'm guessing that looks a better angle now. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? Excellent. I've nothing to report on the 350. It's just going as usual. Perfect. But that's good. So yeah, that was, as I say, it was, what was it, 36 quid. I paid 20 to 30 quid to get that, someone to cut that, weld it and powder coat it. Yeah, I know I can weld it, get it welded myself by someone, Colin. But no, I don't mind buying things like that. Who knows, this bike might get longer suspension one day and it needs the original stand back on it. But that's it, good to go. It's got the grips, the charging system. I've got my bags. I'll have the tank bag. Tank bag's fully waterproof, the same as these ones. It's got its puncture kit. Perfect. And even with the buying the extras, it still costs less than buying a brand new one. So that's it. What else? Nothing else to report really. I've got some films to make in here as stuff, military stuff. and we'll get round to that. I've been out most nights coming home. So we'll see you in the next one. Alright, cheers.